Hey everybody. So I talked to Danielle and I've been getting a lot of ladies on our team, not just here, but in the bigger realm of teams, asking me how I make my graphics and what I use and what apps I use and how I do it and if I can do it for them. And I'm going to say that making graphics is very time consuming. So definitely if it's something that you want to do and you want them to look, I don't know, anywhere like how I make them, you might have to take 20 to 30 minutes, even more, out of your day, depending on what you actually need to do for it. So I wanted to just jump on here and kind of make a video, and I'm doing it pre-recorded because I figured it's the easiest way for me to show you guys everything, and I'll kind of edit the video so you guys can literally see exactly what I'm doing and like talk through it. But I'm going to show you guys what apps I use, how I use them, and kind of how I put everything together. Everybody has a different eye. Everybody has like a different, I don't know, creativity in them. So no one's graphics should look exactly the same. That's kind of what makes us, right? So if you guys are interested in how to do graphics, please continue to watch because I'm sure this video will be helpful for a lot of you guys. So first off, you're going to want to download the Eraser app onto whatever device you are using and go to upload whatever photo that you want to start editing. I'm going to use our setting spray and just erase out that background. And you just want to check for any type of mistakes you might have, anything like that. So it's really easy to erase the backgrounds on most images with this program. You just want to hit the erase button and then target area, and what that will do is erase all of the same color at once. So if you have a white background that's plain, if you just click on that white area, it will erase the whole thing. And then you always want to double check. As you can see here, there was a little bit left over that didn't get erased or didn't get picked up on. So I just take the actual eraser itself and very carefully erase it on my own. And you definitely want to look really close because as you can see, some of that actual image got erased. So I just restore that part of the image really quick so that it looks like how it did to start off with. And again, we're going to hit that target area and erase that background. And you can see that I'm kind of playing around with the threshold, which might erase more or not. As you can see, it's kind of almost see-through in some of those little spots. The threshold just picked up on some of the white from probably the flash. So you just want to go in and restore that just to make sure, or just play around with the threshold. But you always want to double check what you're doing to make sure that you're not erasing part of the image. And again, with our liquid lipstick, we're going to just erase the background. And again, playing with that threshold to see what looks best. You want to make sure that your image isn't being compromised. And it's pretty easy to just use that threshold really quickly. Let's go with the Zen mascara. Now, as you guys can see on this, there's a lot of white. There's also white on the actual packaging of it. So again, you're going to hit erase. You're going to go with target area. And what happens? It's erase the whole top part of the mascara. So there's there are actually two things you can do. So you could hit restore, and I could restore that part of the image that was erased. So I could do it this way and bring this mascara back to life. I'm going to hit undo for all of this now. Now, instead of hitting restore, let's make that straight again. Zoom in. I'm going to just go straight in with erase, and I have my eraser thing here. And I can make this bigger, which will make my life a lot easier when it comes to trying to kind of erase more at once. You want to use 2 fingers when you are moving things around. If you use one, it's going to use that eraser or whatever tool you're using. So make sure that you use 2 fingers to move that image. So it does take time, as you guys can see right there like that. I have to really pay attention. I have to go slow. This isn't a process that you can do very quickly. And I'm just going to fast forward through a little bit of this really quick so that we're not stuck watching it all night long. Oops. So if you mess up, just hit the undo button at the top. It's the little arrows that go, you know, left and right. One's undo, one's redo. So this is pretty good. And see how I just accidentally, I don't even know if you guys could probably tell. See how it's a little, it goes in there a little bit? I just have to hit restore. You want to go from the inside and just fix that. If it goes on the outside, that's okay. Hit erase. Don't expect to be perfect at this, guys. I've been doing this for years and it's still fairly tricky to me. But this is an app that anybody can use. I believe it's still free. I got it when it was free. I don't know if they ever changed it. But there we go. Now we have our mascara. So you can adjust your size of like the thing you're using there. Offset is just where you touch the it's like how it moves based off of where your finger is. I don't really normally mess with that. I want to talk about one more thing because this was a little tricky. The rest of the images that I'm personally using right now are pretty easy to use. If we were to try to erase the background of this with the BB cream, if I were to just hit erase, target, and do that, it's not going to work. I can move the threshold. If I lower the threshold, it's pretty much going to take less away from that color that you originally selected. And if I slide it more or higher in number, it's going to take more of it away. So you might want to do this if you have an image that has a lot of one color that you want to erase all of that color. That might not be just a solid background, if that makes sense. So this does not work. Again, we could either restore the image from the inside out or erase from the outside going in. It'll be the same as the mascara. It might honestly be easier to do it from the outside in because of the top. So we're just gonna kind of play around with it. Again, it's whatever's easiest for you. Whatever you think might be the best option. There's no right and wrong. At the end of the day, whether you erase it or you restore it, it's going to give you that same image. But once you kind of start doing this for a while, you kind of pick up on what's going to be the fastest route for you. So then I'm just going to go in with that eraser and see, like, I messed up, so I just have to undo it. And this angle is kind of tricky, so erase that top part. Oops. And guys, it is okay to mess up. You're probably going to mess up a lot when you first get into like figuring this out. And it's okay. Okay. So that's pretty good. Now we have our full image. I'd hit save, that little arrow moving over, and hit the save button. Okay, so now we need to talk about the other app that I highly suggest that you download. I do not know if it's free or if you have to pay for it. When I originally downloaded it, it was free, but who knows. So the other app that you're going to want to use is the cut and paste app. So I want to click on that. Oh, I get into this. And now the background that Danielle chose, because I'm doing this for Danielle to help her out. I told her I'd make a video for it. This is the picture she wants. It's a backdrop that looks like wood. It has hearts and it says Happy Valentine's Day on it. So we're gonna hit next because that's our background. And sorry, this is like hard to hold. We're gonna hit add more cuts. Now we have all of these images that originally had a background that now have the background taken out. So I'm just gonna upload them and you can kind of choose the sizing you want for them. Like I kind of make them smaller because I feel like they're easier to like maneuver. So we have our BB cream, Zen mascara. Let's see. The VFX primer. That's a bad one to use. Hold on. Now there's an eraser on this too, so if you had something that you needed to kind of clean up, you can. I'm just going to do that for the purpose of this video. And I'm just going to add the rest to this really quick. Okay, so everything's just kind of on there now. So now I just have to kind of resize everything. I try to make it look fairly like real life to kind of like, when it comes to products and stuff, to try to like, okay, so if I have the 3-in-1 face palette next to the setting spray, like kind of how big and difference in size does it actually look? I try to make it look as real life as possible. So of course, like the lipstick isn't going to be as big as the face palette, you know, stuff like that. So you just have to kind of go around, play around with it. And pretty much what you can do, so now you've seen I've made the images smaller, is I can rearrange them to pretty much however I want. So if you want to tilt them, you just hit the arrow there and tilt it. And I'm not really sure how I want to do this. So let me make this primer smaller. I might put like the face products together, the eye products together, and then the lipstick separated so that it all kind of is its one like own thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the face palette here. Actually, put the face palette over here. All right, so we'll do that. Followed by the BB cream. Oops, tapped on the wrong one. So now for the BB cream, if I slide this, see how it's going underneath? I'll show you guys a trick. If I hit this ×2 button, it's going to duplicate it. I can take that original and delete it, and now that layer is on top. So I'm going to kind of move that here. I'm going to put the Time Locker spray here. Kind of make it look like they're on top of each other. And we want our primer to kind of be up front too, because, you know, it's a crime not to prime. So we're going to erase that. Make that a little bit smaller. And I'm going to put the primer here. So now we have the primer, the palette, the BB cream, and the Time Locker. We're going to add our mascara and our liner for our brows, which sometimes you have to move the image to adjust the size. It does get a little tricky because the background might move depending on where everything is. There we go. So I'm going to make that liner just a tad bit bigger, like that. And I can kind of make these go like that, like a V. And then I can do the lipstick kind of here. So now what I have is a whole image all together. I'm going to hit next. Done. It asks if you want to do an animation effect. You can if you want. I'm going to hit no for right now. I'm going to download that. And I save it under transparent so that there's no background behind that. It's one less step I have to worry about doing. Now, if I wanted to, I have the option to add stickers, which, I mean, they're kind of lame, but you might be able to add something, maybe a nice flower in that image if you wanted to. Maybe you don't want stickers, hit that X. You can add text. I'm not actually going to click on them all. You can draw on it. I don't even know what Splash does. Oh, Splash makes it black and white. Splash, you can make it black and white and then erase that black and white and turn it into color. That's kind of cool. resize the image, you can filter, and then this is just adjusting the image, blurring things if you wanted to blur it out. You know, circle, I don't know what the heck that is. Maybe blur into a certain spot, make something more vibrant. So there's all different options you have. I'm going to go back one more because I want to show you guys. I could hit, oops, hold on. I'm just going to add something and delete it really quick. One sec. Yeah, I'll just add that and then we're just going to delete that layer. I'm going to hit next. Done. It's going to ask again about animated effects. I want to show you guys those. So I hit yes, and I could turn this into a video simply by maybe clicking hearts. So we'll create that video. Hit done. Oh, it's still creating, duh. And it just turned that into like a 5-second video. So I can do that if I want, hit save, go back. There's all different effects. You guys can kind of look at those on your own. This just kind of makes it whether you want them more transparent or full, able to be seen. So that is how you edit your pictures. And now if I wanted to, I could add text to this or whatever else I wanted to do. And that's all I would need to do. So I will show you guys the rest of the apps. I have the screen recording, I believe, so you guys can kind of see the other apps that I have that I use to edit. And I hope that is helpful for you guys. I will say there are a few other apps that if you don't have them, you should have. WordSwag is one of them. I also find that Vaunt is a good one that you can add wording on top of videos, and Fonto is a good one to write on regular photos. There are a few for like videos, but I'm not going to get into that on this video here. But I absolutely hope that helped. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys might have. Like I said, I think this would have been too tricky to do live, so it is a pre-recorded video, but I will get all of the questions that you guys have answered. And if I need to elaborate on anything more, I can always make another video. I'm sure Danielle wouldn't mind me posting that in the group. But I hope everybody has a great night and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.